Let's lock in. The WBO has announced that they will not recognize Earl Spence Jr. as a challenger for Sebastian-Fundora's WBO title, and that if Earl Spence beats Sebastian-Fundora, then they'll elevate Terence Crawford to WBO champion. We're going to take a look at the source, which is Lance Pugmire, who's a reputable journalist in the sport of boxing. Here's an article on Boxing Scene. It states, WBO won't recognize Earl Spence Jr. as title challenger in Sebastian-Fundora bout. And you can see Lance Pugmire wrote this. And it states, amid the expectation that unified junior middleweight champion Sebastian-Fundora will next meet former three-belt welterweight champion Earl Spence Jr., only one of the belts will be on the line in the bout. An official connected to the decision told Boxing Scene on Friday that the World Boxing Organization has ruled it will not sanction Fundora Spence as a world title fight for multiple reasons connected to Spence's position. The bout will be allowed to proceed as a non-title fight in the WBO's eyes, and Fundora will retain the belt by winning. But if Southern California's Fundora loses to Spence, the belt will be taken from him and presented to four-division and current World Boxing Association junior middleweight titleist Terence Crawford, who now stands as the WBO's interim 154-pound belt holder. Fundora, 21 wins, 1 defeat, 1 draw with 13 KOs, also wears the World Boxing Council belt by virtue of his bloody, narrow victory over Tim Tszyu on March 30th in Las Vegas. The WBC belt is expected to be in play. The WBO, however, has decided Texas Spence, 28 wins, 1 defeat with 22 knockouts, does not meet the standards required to fight for its belt for these primary reasons. Spence, age 34, hasn't fought since his July 2023 ninth-round technical knockout loss to Crawford, in which Spence was knocked down 3 times before the stoppage arrived. He is coming off of the bad knockout loss and has never fought at junior middleweight. He is not ranked among the WBO's top 15 junior middleweights despite petitioning for that position at the recent WBO convention in Puerto Rico. And quote, if the WBO allows Spence to fight for the belt, it starts a bad precedent for others, the official said, on the condition of anonymity because they are not authorized to discuss the ruling on a fight that is still in negotiations. There is no official date or venue for Fundora Spence, but at this week's WBC convention in Hamburg, Germany, Fundora told Boxing Scene, that fight's next for us. Spence appeared in the ring following Fundora's victory over Tszyu to start hyping the showdown. Spence has since expressed concerns over how his 2019 Ferrari crash has affected his health, and he has also split with Derek James, Spence's trainer since his amateur days. Fundora said he does not expect to fight a diminished version of Spence. There's no reason for anybody to be doubting him. He was a champion for a long time, Fundora said. He defended the IBF a couple of times. He unified with Sean Porter. He unified with Yordenis Ugas. I don't know why people are overlooking him. We're definitely not doing that. We see the same Spence as always, and I think everybody should expect a good fight from him. And that's basically the situation. As you saw there, if Earl Spence was to beat Sebastian-Fundora, the 154-pound WBO title will go to Terence Crawford. And they stated their reasons why. Earl Spence isn't in the top 15. They feel like it would set bad precedent if they allowed Earl Spence Jr. to just come up and fight, Sebastian-Fundora and then take the belt. Here's my take on it. It seems like a lot of BS to me. Earl Spence was one title away from being undisputed at welterweight. He fought Terence Crawford. He lost to Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford is a first ballot Hall of Famer. The WBO is the same organization that will allow someone like Terence Crawford to move from 147 up to 154 and immediately challenge for the title there, because that's what their rules state. So if you want to say it's not fair to allow Earl Spence to just move up and wait and then fight Sebastian-Fundora, why not? This is a former unified champion, as Sebastian-Fundora pointed out. Earl Spence was unified, beat some really good champions, beat Sean Porter, beat your Dennis Ugas, like he's pointing out. He also beat Danny Garcia. He beat some really good, talented fighters. Yes, he stepped into the ring and then he got dominated by Terence Bud Crawford, but Terence Bud Crawford has proven that he's a special talent. He's an all-time great. He's the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. What it seems like to me, if we're being honest, is it seems like a plot just to get the belt back to Terence Bud Crawford. That's what it seems like to me, if we're being honest, because what I'm sure the WBO wants is Terence Bud Crawford, the longtime WBO representative. Remember, that was the one belt he had back in welterweight when Spence had the other 3 belts and people felt like Crawford was being frozen out. He was, that representative of the WBO belt. I'm sure the WBO belt is special to Terence Bud Crawford. I'm sure that the organization, the WBO, loves Terence Bud Crawford for the way he's represented them. And so now what I don't think they like is the fact that Terence Bud Crawford, I don't think they like the fact that Errol Spence in his first fight at 154 could get 2 titles, can get the WBC and get the WBO, and then have 2 belts to Terence Bud Crawford's 1, which would be the WBA. So what I think they're saying is like, hey, Buds are interim, and you know what? We'd much rather elevate Bud. We rather Bud have 2 belts than to see Spence have 2 belts, especially after the way that Bud has held us down and the way that he cooked Spence. Because to just say like, oh, he's not ranked in our top 15 and it would set bad precedent. Yeah, if you let just any Joe Smo do it, but not the man who had 3 title belts and participated in the welterweight undisputed fight. We're talking about a guy who potentially could have been the undisputed welterweight champion. Yeah, he lost, but I mean, it's not like we're talking about someone who had 1 title or just a regular unified title. We're talking about a guy who had 3 titles and he fought for undisputed. So I do think that a lot of it is the WBO's loyalty to Terence Bud Crawford. And we got to be honest, there is that influential figure also known as Turkey Al-Sheikh, who Terence Bud Crawford works with, who Terence Bud Crawford is fighting for. And you know what? Turkey Al-Sheikh is probably like, hey, if you're going to run that belt somewhere, run it to one of my guys. And you know Turkey has that influence. And there is that PBC still hasn't really bent the knee to Turkey Al-Sheikh. And so it could be some of that at play where PBC, Turkey Al-Sheikh, and Turkey's like, nah, we're not letting another piece of the titles go to PBC. If anything, we're going to figure out a way to circumvent that and bring that title to one of my guys, one of the Riyadh Season Boxing League guys, Terence Bud Crawford. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section. Please like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching this video. It's Caden. I'm out. Peace.